Hello, we have this Aquarius man as the image here. He is pouring out his water. It's supposed to represent Aquarius, the picture, which goes perfectly with Revelation. And I say greetings, deceivers and non-deceivers, because I think when people have an objection to what I'm saying, although I have proven over and over again that what I'm saying is accurate and is the truth, I think they're deceivers. I think the people that object to the people that object to what I'm saying, I think they're deceivers, and I think they want to say no, that's not true. And you know, then when the Bible comes around and they see when I show in the Bible that it's true, you know, then people shut up. And I'm just getting to the point where I don't want to deal with these people that don't know the Bible, that haven't read the Bible. Apparently, it seems as though they haven't read the Bible, and they question me, and I get sick of it. So I say greetings, deceivers and non-deceivers. Revelation 10. Revelation 10 is apparently with Jesus, I think. And the reason I think this, it starts out with Jesus, I think. And the reason I think this goes back to Revelation 4:3. And I've got to notate all this stuff. I've got to provide notes as if people have never read the Bible before. But it says, I saw another strong messenger coming down out of the heaven, arrayed with a cloud. Now, Jesus will come back with a cloud. Don't ask me to show that in the Bible. Don't ask me to prove that. You people are ridiculous. And it's just getting to the point. I've got to prove, you know, just the most basic things. And I don't have to. And I saw another strong messenger coming down out of the heaven, arrayed with a cloud. That implies Jesus, but it also implies Aquarius. Clouds are Aquarius. If you don't know that, that's your problem. You know, I'm telling you, you don't have to believe me, but I don't want to have to deal with arguments. And a rainbow upon the head. Okay, rainbow upon the head, that goes back to Revelation 4:3. Revelation 4:3 has God with a rainbow around his throne. So I think this is Jesus. I don't want to argue about it. And it's Jesus in Revelation 1. And it says in verse 16 of Revelation 1, and having in his right hand 7 stars, and out of his mouth a sharp two-edged sword is proceeding, and his countenance as the sun shining in its might. That is used repeatedly in the Bible, repeatedly throughout the Bible. And his countenance, that's his face. You can look that word up if you have a problem with that. As the sun shining in its might. And if I go here to Revelation 10, from Revelation 1:16, because the Revelation interprets itself, the Bible interprets itself, and Revelation interprets itself, at least as much as we're allowed to know. And it takes people getting into this stuff. They're not serious Christians. They're not Christians. Revelation 1:16, the sun shining in its might, and his countenance as the sun shining in its might. Countenance is a little bit different than face, but it's basically the same thing. And then it says, and a rainbow was round the throne in sight like an emerald. Chapter 4, that's God. Chapter 4, verse 3. It's clear, it's got a throne there. And it says, I saw another strong messenger coming out of heaven, arrayed with a cloud, and a rainbow upon the head, and his face like the sun. That connects with Jesus and God. And his feet as pillars of fire. Anyway, so this is God, this is Jesus, is my understanding. I could be wrong, but the connections are there. And it says about the seven thunders. And apparently it says in the seven thunders, verse 4 of chapter 10, and when the seven thunders spake their voices, I was about to write. And I heard a voice out of the heaven saying to me, seal the things that the seven thunders spake, and thou mayest not write these things. So there's a secret that's going to be revealed, that will be revealed at the end of time about the seven thunders. We'll find out what they said. But that has to do with Jupiter, and that has to do with Sagittarius, which is the opposite of the sign of Gemini, which we're under. It is clear that the sign of Aquarius starts out with Aquarius, then let me see, is this right? Oh, yeah, it is. Anyway, we're under a sign of Gemini. It starts out with Aquarius in the 222-year sign and goes all the way around 9 signs. Let me see, is that right? I think it starts out with Aquarius. Anyway, we're under the sign of Gemini. The opposite sign, the heavenly sign, is Aquarius. That's what it has to do with the seven thunders. And it says in verse 6, and did swear to him who doth live to the ages of the ages, and did swear in him who doth live to the ages of the ages, who did create the heaven and the things in it, and the land and the things in it, and the sea and the things in it. Now, we're not allowed to swear. Jesus said swearing is, and I don't mean cussing. That's not what I'm saying. Swearing is not cussing. It is what people do when they go to court. Do you swear to tell the whole truth? That kind of thing. At least they do that in the United States. We are not allowed to swear, and God swore. God swore in the Bible. So this is clear that it's Jesus. That time shall not be yet. Who's the person who can determine that time will not be anymore, or that there will not be more time? There will be no longer time. That's Jesus. That time shall not be yet. And then it says in chapter 7, or in verse 7, it says, the secret of God may be finished. So that's coming to an end. The secret of God is coming to an end. It says but in the days of the voice, or the sound, in Greek, voice and sound are the same word. It just means sound, of the seventh messenger, when he may be about to sound. And the secret of God may be finished, as he did declare to his own servants, to the prophets. So this revelation is in the prophets. A lot of people are going straight to Revelation, and they're not looking at anything else. They want to know what Revelation says, but they're not willing to read the prophets. They're not willing to read the rest of the Bible. And it's clear. And referring to that, I'd like to refer to two things and then close this up. The prophets include Ezekiel, is what I want to say. And it says in verse 9, and I went away unto the messenger, saying to him, give me the little scroll. And he saith unto me, take and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but in thy mouth it shall be sweet as honey. This is it is a retelling of the same story in Ezekiel. This is Ezekiel, what it's talking about. This happened in Ezekiel. And look it up if you want to. Don't make me do your footwork. I know what I've said. I've done my footwork. Don't make me do your footwork too. It's in Ezekiel. The scroll, I think it's probably chapter 3 or chapter 4 of Ezekiel. Look it up. All right? They've got internet search engines for the Bible. Look it up. BlueLetterBible.org is the one I like. And it says eat. He says to eat the scroll. That's in Ezekiel. And then there's another connection to it. So this is very important to know Ezekiel. Another connection to Ezekiel. There are sealed ones in Ezekiel. Again, that's at the beginning of Ezekiel. I'm reading Ezekiel now, so I know. It just so happens that I'm reading these things in tandem. But it says in verse 7 of chapter of Revelation, (2 through 4). Another messenger from the rising of the sun, he cried to the 4 messengers to whom it was given to injure the land and the sea, saying, do not injure the land, nor the sea, nor the trees, till we may seal the servants of our God. Now, why does it say trees? It has to do with Aquarius. I'm giving you an inside scoop here. And it sounds like a lot of people don't even appreciate it. They just want to argue with me, and they're ignorant. Ignorant. And I'm not saying that I'm not ignorant. I'm ignorant on some things, but they're ignorant on what they're talking about. And they not only ignorant, as I may be, I don't know. I may not know what I'm talking about all the time, even on YouTube, but I'm doing my best. But they're clueless by that, even clueless about what they're talking about. And it says, till we may seal the servants of our God upon their foreheads. That's Ezekiel. And I heard the number of those sealed. 144,000 were sealed out of all the tribes of the sons of Israel. I've already been through this in my previous video, so you can look at that. But there's something interesting here. Something else that I'd forgotten to mention about Ezekiel. It says in Revelation 4:7, and the first living creature like a lion, the second living creature like a calf. Now a lion, we know what a lion is. A calf is a bull. Lion has to do with Leo. Calf has to do with Taurus, because Leo means lion. We've got it in a foreign language here. We got it in Latin. But in the olden days, they just like in the time the Latins were around, or the Romans were around, they said Leo, and that meant lion. They knew it meant lion, just like saying lion in our language. And a calf, the third living creature, had the face of a man, as a man, and the fourth living creature like a flying eagle. There is Leo, Taurus next, Aquarius, and Scorpio, because Scorpio can also be represented as an eagle. You can look it up. It's represented as a snake, as a scorpion, and as an eagle. It's the only sign that has 3 or even more than 1 representation in it. But anyway, they've got those things in Revelation 4. I just read it. Look up Revelation 4. If you want to talk with me, look up Revelation 4. And I don't even know I can really respond to, I don't think I can really respond to comments anymore, because YouTube doesn't allow that. They got rid of my scripture quotations that people were complaining about, that I didn't have basis for what I was saying. It says in Ezekiel 1, and go back and listen to this if you missed this, and write them down and look them up. And out of its midst, a tempestuous wind, a great cloud, and fire catching itself, verse 4, chapter 1 of Ezekiel. and brightness to it round about. And it says, and out of its midst, verse 5, a likeness of 4 living creatures, and this their appearance, a likeness of man to them, and 4 faces to each, and 4 wings to each of them. And I'll skip down because I didn't realize it was this far into it. As to verse 10 of Ezekiel 1:10, as to the likeness of their faces, the face of a man and the face of a lion toward the right, to them 4, and the face of an ox on the left, to them 4, and the face of an eagle to them 4. So that brings in the man, the lion, the ox or the calf in Revelation, which is a young ox, and the eagle, although it said flying eagle in Revelation. There are connections. There are 3 connections right there. There's eating the scroll, that's in Ezekiel, look it up. There's the sealed, that's in Ezekiel, the seal of God, look it up. And as I just read from Revelation 4 and Ezekiel 1, the lion, the ox, the man, and the eagle. So that's all in there. God bless you. Think before you speak. Know what you're saying before you blab off. God bless.